Hello everyone and welcome to another video tutorial of Python and Dynamo. In this tutorial I'm going to describe how to export NWC file formats from Revit to use them inside Navisworks. Let's take a look at Dynamo script, which is composed of 3 blocks. In the first part we are going to select and filter our views. In the second one, we are going to select our directory and directory paths. And finally, we are going to have our Python script. In the Python script, we are going to import necessary libraries, and we need to set our inputs, which is a list of view names and directory paths for exports. And eventually we are going to export all the 3D views as NWC file format. But before we get started, I'd like to mention that whole the process of creating views and prepare them, which is called MVD, Model View Definition, is described in the link above from the Navisworks tutorial series. So now let's dive in. I use Dynamo for the matter of time. However, having said that, you can use file export Navisworks, and you can choose your directory and settings like export room geometry or all the other options that you have available here, and you can choose them. But as I told you before, for the matter of time and not going to actually export all the views individually, we're going to use Dynamo. So let's open Dynamo and start scripting. So for the first part, we are going to select all these views and filter them by their name. So I'm going to bring out categories, if I can find them. All right, and let's choose view. It's a little bit slow today. All right, and we select all elements of category. All right, let's run it. So with these two nodes, actually we bring out all the views in the project browser, but we need just 5 of them, so we need to filter them out. So we need to use a string from object, because these are elements and they are not a string. So for to filter them out, we need to convert them to a string. I'm gonna fit this to a string from object and filter by Boolean mask. This one here, and we can bring out a string contains all right. So what I said before, that we need a common word inside the name of each view to filter them out. So I'm gonna bring out a code block here, and let's write down NWC underscore, which is a common string in the views. All right. These two nodes actually work as a mask for us. So I'm gonna feed this to to the mask, to the Boolean mask, and the elements of our list. Now let's start running this again. As you can see, we have filtered them out. For the Python script, we need a string of these name views. So I'm going to use a node element dot name. As you can see, we have all the strings of the views which we are going to export. We are pretty much done with the first part, and we need to actually choose the directory where we are going to store our files. I'm going to use directory path and directory from path, and we need a code block to actually choose the directory. All right, and the directory itself should be a string as well. So we are going to use this node again, and let's browse to the folder that we have created. In the folder NWC file and the folder of the date of today. Now we are done with the Dynamo script. We need to actually write the Python. As you can see here, we have two inputs. So I'm gonna add another one. And let's edit this one here. Let me rescale the screen so that you can see it better. First of all, we need to import common language runtime, and from this library we need to add some references. The first one is Rabbit API, which is really important for most of the Python scripts inside Dynamo. And from this, we are going to import all the data. Autodesk dot Rabbit dot database, and we import all. We need to add another reference, which is going to be Rabbit services. And we're going to say from Autodesk, right, that design script that geometry import. Basically this was for the other reference. However, let me add that one as well. Proto geometry. And for the Revit services, we are going to add document manager. So we are going to say from Revit services that persistence import document manager. All right, now we need to import system, and from system dot collections dot generic, we import all of that. Now from all the available Revit document instances, we need to choose the one that we are working on. I'm going to say doc equals document manager instance dot current database document. Cool. Now we need to define our inputs, which was these two inputs, the name of the views and the name of the directory where we're going to store the files. So I'm going to name the first one as names, and here is our first input, and the second one is directory. You can name it whatever you want, but be careful, we are going to use them in the code, inside the code. I'm gonna add empty list where we're going to store our name of the files. Here is the empty list, and to create a filtered element collector for views, I'm going to use collector filtered element collector as an argument we need for this document, and for the class of class we are working with views. Cool. Now we need to set up Navisworks export options. We're going to say Navis export Navisworks export options. We don't need any arguments, and Navis export scope Navisworks this should be Navisworks export scope dot as a parameter view. we're going to say again Navis works export, and as a parameter links. With this line we're going to say whatever in the views are, export them however they are in a link. So this should be Navis export export links, and this should be true. It's a filter. So now let's iterate through the list of view names. We are going to use a for loop. So for that reason I'm gonna say for view in collector that we collect all the views from the project browser. And now we want to use a if conditional, because we have a lot of views in the project browser, including 3D views. But we want just to export the ones that we need to. So I'm gonna say if view type equals view type dot 3D, and this is just not enough, because with this condition we are going to export all the 3D views, but we need just to filter them for those 5 views that we need, and we need to add another condition, and we say view dot name in names. Names is the list of the views that we feed it inside the Python. Okay, colons, and we are going to set Navis export dot view ID as a parameter, which is view ID, and now we start exporting, and as an argument we need of course directory, view name, which going to have format dot NWC, and another argument is Navis export. And the final line, which is optional, we are going to append all the view names inside the list, empty list that we created. All right, I think we've got every line here, so let's save it. And let's fit this to the Python script, and let's run. Let me just see here inside the navisworks.py. the folder. Okay, we have in line 22, let's see. Collector, filtered, yes, here is, I've misspelled it, element collector. All right, let's try it again. Number 30. Let's see what it's about. Navis sport view ID. Oh yeah. All right. Let's write again. Still, we've got a problem here. Let me see. Sport.uid. Shouldn't be cast like here. Okay. Alright, I think it is working. It is processing to export all those views in NWC format file. It's gonna take a couple of minutes actually. Sorry. I think it's a pretty good script to export the views, not doing every single time for each view, which is really tedious because it's not the it's a cache file. So every single week or a couple of weeks you need to export them to use in the Navisworks. So instead of going to basically exporting them individually, you can use this script to export them all together. Just you have to write all this script in one time and use it over time. So that would be pretty easy and avoiding tedious tasks. So let me find this out here. Actually, as you can see, we are exporting all the views, all the cache files here. It is remaining just one of them. It depends on the size of the project and information stored in the views. So I think we are done here. Yes. As you can see, we have exported all the cache files from the views and from the Revit.